class. I am Aisha. I am your science expert, and today it is my first class with class 9. So today we are going to take our first topic, that is cell. So cell is the fundamental unit of our life. It is the smallest unit which is present in our body. Okay? So topics to be covered in are introduction of cell, discovery of cell theory, unicellular and multicellular organisms, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell shape and size, structural and functional organization of cell, diffusion and osmosis, cell placed in different types of solutions, difference between plant cell and animal cell. Okay, so first of all, we need to know what is cell. So before studying about cell, we need to know what is cell. Okay, so all living organisms, either they are unicellular or multicellular, are made up of microscopic units called cell. So cell are very small units which are present in our body. They are microscopic, means they can only be observed by microscope. They cannot be seen by visible through our naked eyes. Okay, so next, a cell, whether it exists as a single celled organism or as a part of certain multicellular organism, is capable of performing all the basic functions essential for life, like respiration, growth, reproduction, etc. So cell, कुछ ऑर्गेनिजम्स ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें सिर्फ एक सेल होता है, और कुछ ऑर्गेनिजम्स ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें बहुत सारे सेल होते हैं, थाउजेंड लैक्स, बहुत सारे. ओके, जैसे हम खुद हैं वो मल्टी सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं, हमें बहुत सारे सेल हैं. तो यहाँ हम लोग में डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर होता है. इसका ये मतलब है कि अलग अलग सेल के अलग अलग फंक्शन होते हैं. जो भी फंक्शंस होते हैं वो एक स्पेसिफिक सेल कैरी आउट करते हैं. अलग अलग फंक्शन के लिए अलग अलग सेल डिवाइडेड है. लेकिन सिंगल सेल ऑर्गेनिज्म में ऐसा होता है कि एक ही सेल सारा फंक्शन कैरी आउट करते हैं. मतलब सेल कैपेबल होता है किसी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म में बेसिक फंक्शंस को कैरी आउट करने के लिए. और हमारी बॉडी में कुछ बेसिक फंक्शंस हमें मालूम है, जैसे रेस्पिरेशन, ग्रोथ, reproduction, excretion, and etc. Okay, so we can say that cell is a structural and functional unit of life. So we can easily say that cell is the structural unit of life, means सेल सबसे छोटा यूनिट होता है. हाँ, तो फिर हमारी बॉडी में लेकिन और भी ऑर्गन्स होते हैं, तो वो कैसे बनते हैं? तो सेल कंबाइन होके टिश्यू बनाते हैं, फिर टिश्यू कंबाइन होके ऑर्गन, और फिर ऑर्गन कंबाइन होके ऑर्गन सिस्टम बनाते हैं. सो सेल इज द स्ट्रक्चरल यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ. Okay, now functional unit of life, how we can say this? So many functions are carried out by the cell, as we have learned in the previous paragraph also, that many functions like reproduction, respiration, and several other functions are followed by done by cell. Okay, now let's know about the discovery of cell. So cell is so important to us, so we need to know how we came to know about this. So let's study. So the cell was first introduced by an English scientist, Robert Hooke, in 1665. So it was discovered in a thin slice of cork. सो सेल हमारा सबसे पहले रॉबर्ट हुक ने डिस्कवर किया था 1665 में. अब उन्होंने ये सेल डेड सेल्स में देखा था. मतलब हमारा जो ट्री होता है उस पे एक लेयर होता है डेड सेल का, जिसे बार्क कहते हैं. उसे कॉर्क भी हम कह सकते हैं. तो उसी के एक स्लाइस में डेड सेल्स को ऑब्जर्व करके रॉबर्ट हुक ने सेल को डिस्कवर किया. Okay, so he discovered it with the help of self-designed instrument called microscope. So he had self-designed a microscope, and with the help of that he observed that cork and discovered the cell. Okay, so later in 1674 an improved microscope was designed by Leeuwenhoek, who studied about free living cells in the form of bacteria. So Leeuwenhoek was also a scientist. So हमारे रॉबर्ट हुक ने क्या किया था कि उन्होंने डेड सेल्स को ऑब्जर्व किया था, बट ल्यूवेन हुक ने लिविंग सेल्स को ऑब्जर्व किया बैक्टीरिया में. सो ही वाज द फर्स्ट टू डिस्कवर द लिविंग सेल्स. Okay, so we came to know about the discovery of cell. So we have seen that the cell was discovered because of with the help of microscope. Okay, so let's study something about microscope. So microscope is an instrument that is used to magnify things, like to observe cellular organization of cell living organisms. Two major types of microscopes are light or compound microscope, and second is electron microscope. Okay, so microscope is an instrument which helps us to magnify things, means we can study cell with the help of microscope. it helps us to see very microscopic structures which are not visible by naked eye. So there are two types of microscope, that is light microscope or compound microscope, and the second is electron microscope. You can also see the figures which is given over here. So light microscope is generally used in school laboratories. Okay, so it is generally found in the schools. Okay, so it contains a glass lens. So microscope, that is light microscope, is not very complex kind of thing. Okay, it uses a simple glass lens, and it does not require any special kind of light to make the things visible. With a normal light and reflection of things, we can easily view the things in a very perfect manner. But it is not as it cannot show as minute things as electron microscope can show us. Okay, so it contains a glass lens and uses visible light that illuminates and passes through the specimen of magnification and observation. Okay, so it is very easy using the compound microscope. Okay, the magnification of light microscope ranges from 100 to 1500 times. Okay, so this is the magnification range of compound microscope. So now let's see about electron microscope. Now electron microscope is a very large instrument that helps in observing subcellular structures that cannot be seen by a light microscope. So I have already said this that हमारा जो light microscope है वो हमें उतना magnification provide नहीं करेगा, लेकिन electron microscope हमें और things को और magnify करके देखने में help करेगा. मतलब सेल के अंदर के जो organelles हैं वो हम electron microscope के जरिए देख सकते हैं. Okay, so it uses a high voltage of electricity also. Okay, so because it magnifies more, so it will use something more for giving more advantage to you. Of course, we have seen it everywhere na. So this is electron microscope, so it helps in magnifying things more in a better manner. Okay, okay, so let's learn that how this cell was discovered. So in 1665, while studying thin slice of cork by Robert Hooke, he noted that cork resembles a honeycomb and had tiny compartments. ओके, तो हम ये जानते हैं कि रॉबर्ट हुक ने कॉर्क के स्लाइस में सेल को डिस्कवर किया. ओके, इन 1665. So what is new is that arrangement look like something like of honeycomb. Honeycomb, you can see in the picture, it looks like honeycomb, right? So it had several compartments. We can see several compartments in it. Okay, so these compartments were observed by Robert Hooke. So he had observed this in dead plants. Okay, and named them as cellula, and now we term it as cell. We know we call it cell, and at that time he termed it as cellula. Okay, now cellula is a Latin word that means a little room. So he saw several compartments in that, and so he termed it as cellula, and cellula is now termed as cell. Okay, okay, now cell theory. So discovery हुआ तो theories तो आएंगी. So it is very known that with every discovery follows theories. Okay, so many theories have come, but this is the major and modern theory that we need to know about. Okay, so it was given by German botanist M.J. Scladen in 1838 and zoologist T. Schwann in 1839. Okay, these two botanists and zoologists gave us this theory. Okay, the cell theory states, now what this states, first is cell is the structural unit of life. So we have already seen this, that cell is the structural unit of life as it makes tissues, then organ, and then organ system. Okay, so then the cell is the functional unit of life. So all the functions are carried out by cell, so it is the functional unit of life. Now the third theory was given by R. Warshaw. So he is also a scientist who has given the third theory to us. Okay, now all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Now no new cells are born by themselves, they arise from pre-existing cells. Now, difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms. Okay, as we have already discussed that there are two types of organisms, unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms, right? So, unicellular, it is very clear in our mind that unicellular organisms are the organisms that consist only of one cell. Only one cell is present, okay? And multicellular organisms, the organisms that have many cells, thousand, lakhs, crores of cells in them. Okay, we are the examples, and unicellular, the example is amoeba. Okay, so now unicellular organisms the consist of a single cell. Okay, then multicellular consist of large number of cells. Now unicellular, a single cell performs all the life supporting activities. Multicellular organisms, a single cell performs one or few activities. Okay, now we have already discussed that unicellular consists of only one cell. So cell is present, so activities will be there. So all the activities which support life are carried out by the single cell. जो भी एक सेल है, एक ही सेल प्रेजेंट है, वही सारा एक्टिविटीज करते हैं. लेकिन मल्टी सेलुलर में क्या होता है, जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया था, तो मल्टी सेलुलर में ये होता है कि सिंगल सेल ही एक या कुछ ही एक्टिविटीज कैरी आउट करते हैं, क्योंकि बहुत सारे सेल है तो अलग अलग सेल्स को अलग अलग एक्टिविटीज मिली होती है. ओके, सो नाउ देयर इज नो डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर. कोई भी डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर नहीं होता है, एक ही सेल सारे एक्टिविटीज परफॉर्म करते हैं. फिर देयर इज डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर मींस सेवरल सेल्स हैव सेवरल फंक्शंस एंड सेवरल सेल्स परफॉर्म्स देयर ओन फंक्शंस. सबके पास अपने अपने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. ठीक है, सब अपने अपने काम अपने अपने हिसाब से करते हैं. ठीक है, फॉर अ better supporting of life. Okay, now single cell is involved in production of new organisms during reproduction. Okay, now single cell is only present, so reproduction will also happen with the help of single cell. Okay, and then multicellular, only germ cells take part in reproduction. So now reproduction, the task of and the responsibility of reproduction is also given only to germ cells. It is assigned to germs, so they only take part in it. Okay, now there are two types of cell. Okay, for now we have studied about organisms based on unicellular and multicellular. Now we need to know what are the types of cell. Okay, so there are two types of cell, prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So the best way of learning is by learning by differentiating. So we will learn here different points about both types of cell. Okay, so small in size, prokaryotic cell are small in size and eukaryotic cells are large in size. Okay, prokaryotic cells are generally the old cells. Okay, they are not so well developed. Okay, we need, this is the basic point, this is the basic difference between these two. So I am telling it to you that prokaryotic cells are the old cells, not very developed, but eukaryotic means new cells, new types have several organelles in them. Okay, so they are, we humans have eukaryotic cell. Okay, all the organelles are there, they are developed cells. Okay, so the second point is a true nucleus is absent. Okay, say that it is absent. Okay, now eukaryotic cell, the true nucleus is present. Nucleus is the major organelle. Okay, so that is present in eukaryotic cell. Now prokaryotic cell, nucleic material lies naked in cytoplasm. So true nucleus is absent. A true nucleus is only present with a nuclear membrane. A true nucleus can be defined with a nuclear membrane. So that is not present. So what is the nucleic material? The nucleic material which is present inside the nucleus. Okay, so nuclear membrane is not there. So the materials, nucleic material, the materials present inside the nucleus remains naked, lies naked. Nothing is there to surround them. They lie naked in the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the liquid present in cell. Okay, so nucleic material is surrounded by nuclear membrane. So Q nucleus is present means nuclear membrane will be there at any cost. Okay, so genetic material is generally single stranded, that is DNA. DNA is a genetic material that is present single stranded in prokaryotic cell, and genetic material is complex having double stranded several DNA. Okay, so genetic material is present in eukaryotic also and prokaryotic also, but it is single stranded means single thread. Okay, and in eukaryotic double stranded means double thread. Okay, okay, so membrane bound organelles are absent. Membrane bound organelles are absent. Now several organelles are also present in cell. So there many organelles are there, which are not membrane bound. So membrane is a very important part of an organelle that is absent in prokaryotic cell, and eukaryotic cell membrane bound organelles are present. So all organelles are membrane bound. Okay, nucleic materials are there, several nucleic materials are there. Nucleolus is one of them, but that is absent in prokaryotic cells. And eukaryotic cells, true nucleus is present with all the cell organelles, so nucleolus is present. Okay, okay, now cell division takes place by fission or budding, etc. Cell division takes place with the help of fission or budding. So fission or budding, these are the some of the processes by which reproduction takes place. So this is cell division takes place with the help of fission or budding. Okay, in eukaryotic cell division takes place by mitosis or meiosis. These are also some methods through which in eukaryotic cell division takes place. Okay, now vacuoles are absent in prokaryotic cell. Okay, and generally vacuoles are present in eukaryotic cell. In vacuoles are absent in prokaryotic and vacuoles are present in eukaryotic. Okay, so you will see, you have observed in all these differences that most of the organelles, मतलब ज़्यादातर जो भी organelles है, ज़्यादातर जो भी cell के components होते हैं, वो दो eukaryotic cell में present हैं, और बहुत सारे ऐसे organelles हैं जो prokaryotic में absent हैं, या फिर जैसे हमने न्यूक्लियस में देखा मेम्ब्रेन नहीं था, तो मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड नहीं है. ठीक है, तो फिर हम प्रोकैरियोटिक का एग्जांपल देख सकते हैं, बैक्टीरिया, ब्लू ग्रीन algae एक्सेट्रा. एंड eukaryotic very easy example, man, humans, all we contain of eukaryotic cells. Okay, now, okay, now we will know about cell shape. So cell is so important in our body. It is very important unit of our body. So we need to know that what is the shape of our cell. Okay, so the shape of cell depends upon the function it performs. So different functions are performed by different cells. अलग अलग cell अलग अलग function perform करते हैं, तो उनका शेप भी उसी पे डिपेंडेंट होता है, उसी के हिसाब से उनका शेप होता है. ठीक है, the shape of cell may change or fixed. Okay, so some shape of the cells may be changed, means change with time, and some cells are there which do not change their shape, they are fixed, like take it RBC, neuron, they have fixed shape. Okay, and now change many cells like amoeba. Okay, amoeba is a unicellular organism and its shapes keeps on changing. Okay, now shape of cells can be, first it can be spherical in shape, like eggs of many animals, like ostrich egg, it is a cell. Okay, it is a cell, so it is spherical in shape. Okay, spindle shape, smooth muscle fiber. Okay, the muscle fiber is a fiber, it is a spindle in shape. Okay, now kidney shaped stomata. Stomata we know it is present in plants and it is kidney shaped. Okay, elongated nerve cell. Nerve cell is elongated in shape. You can see the figure, it is so long. Okay, now discoid RBC. Now what is the meaning of discoid? Is disc like or oval RBC. Now RBC are also biconcave in shape. You can also, some RBCs are biconcave and some are discoid or oval. Okay, now columnar epithelial cells, they are present in columns. Okay, in columns they are present, and their epithelial cells are present in our body and they are present in columns. Okay, now amoeba has variable shape, WBC and amoeba both have variable shapes. Okay, and these are the few types of cell shapes. Okay, now cell size and number. So the size of cell is also important. So size of cell varies. Okay, smallest cell is mycoplasm, it is the smallest cell which is present. Okay, now largest cell is ostrich egg. As I've already told you, मैंने आपको बताया कि ostrich egg भी एक cell है, तो that is the largest cell. Okay, now in man, in human beings, the smallest cell, the smallest cell is RBC. RBC is the smallest cell in human beings, and the largest cell is nerve cell. Okay, so the largest cell is nerve cell in human beings, and the rest, as I have told you, the smallest cell is mycoplasm and largest cell is ostrich egg. So cell number, unicellular and multicellular, single celled body example amoeba, and multicellular multi-celled body example man, means many cells are also present and unicellular is also present. Okay, now all cells have three basic characteristics, and they are, first, they contain plasma membrane. So plasma membrane or cell membrane is present in all the cells. So, and these plasma membrane is present, is made up of lipids and proteins. So it is made up of lipids and proteins. Now they contain genes. Genes, genetic material in the form of DNA or RNA containing genes in is present. Okay, so genetic material, that is DNA or RNA that we know, okay, is present, which contain genes. These help in carrying out the hereditary characters. Okay, now the third is they contain metabolic machinery. Now cytoplasm is present, which contains organelles like mitochondria. So cytoplasm is the liquid which is present in cell. So metabolic machinery means all the metabolic activities which takes place, जो भी metabolic activities होते हैं हमारे बॉडी में वो सब सेल में होते हैं, इसलिए माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया जैसे ऑर्गेनल्स उस मेटाबॉलिक मशीनरी में हेल्प करते हैं. ठीक है. Now the structure of cell. So now we will come to on the structure of cell, what cell contains. Okay, the cell it consists of cell membrane and protoplasm. Okay, now first we will know about plasma membrane or cell membrane. Okay, the plasma membrane is ultra thin, elastic, living, selectively permeable membrane composed of lipids, proteins along with small fraction of carbohydrates and polysaccharides. Okay, now plasma membrane is ultra thin, means thin, elastic, living. Okay, it is a very thin, elastic, living membrane which is selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means it allows only selected substances to enter inside the cell. All substances entry is not allowed. Okay, it is saying that all substances will not allow to enter, only a few substances are will allow to enter. So it is selectively permeable membrane. Okay, and it is composed of lipids, proteins, as we have also discussed before, and along with small fraction of carbohydrates and polysaccharides. Okay, so carbohydrates, polysaccharides are fats and few other substances, but main is proteins, lipids and carbohydrates. Okay, now the function of plasma membrane. So it is present in cell means it has some function of course, because nothing is useless, right? So first, it is present in both plant cell and animal cell. Plant cells also consist plasma membrane and animal cell also consist of plasma membrane. Now second is it provides shape to the cell. So a certain shape is provided by the plasma membrane to the cell. So, and it is the outer covering of the cell. So it is the outer covering, it is the outermost layer which is present. Okay. Okay, now it protects the cell from outer injuries. So many kinds of metabolic activities are going over there and many kinds of activities. So maybe some injuries could be caused to the cell. So it what prevents, that is plasma membrane prevents the cell from and organelles from all the injuries. Okay, now fifth, it allows the entry and exit of selected substances, thus is selectively permeable. Okay, एज आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू, कुछ ही चीजों को एंट्री एग्जिट करने का परमिशन होता है. ठीक है, सभी सब्सटेंसेस सेल में एंट्री और एग्जिट नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन पहचान जाता है कि क्या हार्म कर सकता है सेल को. सो कुछ ही चीजों को वो एंट्री अलाउ करता है और कुछ चीजों को नहीं करता है. मीन सेलेक्टेड सब्सटेंसेस कैन एंटर, सो इट इज कॉल्ड सेलेक्टिवली permeable. Okay, now cell wall. Cell wall, it is outer to cell membrane, means cell membrane के भी बाहर एक cell wall present होता है, लेकिन ये एनिमल सेल में प्रेजेंट नहीं होता है, ये सिर्फ प्लांट सेल में प्रेजेंट होता है. ठीक है, तो सेल मेम्ब्रेन क्या था, लिविंग था, लेकिन सेल वॉल क्या है, डेड है. इट इज अ डेड मेम्ब्रेन. ओके, now it is made up of cellulose, so that was present of several proteins, carbohydrates, but this cell wall is present of made up of cellulose. Okay, in fungus is also an organism, so in the fungus the cell wall is made up of chitin is also a substance. Okay, so it is made up of that. It is freely permeable, means cell wall is freely permeable, it allows everything, जिसको मर्जी है तुम आ जाओ अंदर. This is what cell wall says, means cell wall doesn't stop any substance to enter inside the cell, all the substances are allowed. Inside the cell membrane is there to allow some substances only and rest will be again thrown back. Okay, now functions of cell wall. So what is the function of cell wall now? That first is provides mechanical support to cell. Mechanical support means it strength to the cell. Okay, now second, allows materials to exchange, so it all allows the entry and exit of materials. Okay, maintains shape of the cell, thus it also helps in maintaining the shape of cell. Okay, now the second is protoplasm. So it is a living material of cell, it is also living. Okay, now it is divided into two things. First is nucleus and second is cytoplasm. Okay, Now nucleus, it is located in the center of cell. Nucleus is the major organelle of the cell. Okay, it is very important and it is located in the center of the cell. It also consists of some nucleic materials, of course. So it consists of nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane is the membrane which covers the nucleus. So membrane that separates nucleus from cytoplasm. The membrane has pores which allows exchange of materials. So membrane that separates cytoplasm. Okay, so nucleus, it covers the nucleus and separates it from cytoplasm. Okay, and the membrane has pores, tiny pores in it, which helps in exchange of materials. In nucleus also exchange of materials takes place. Now nucleoplasm, it is cytoplasm of nucleus. Why is it written that it is the cytoplasm of nucleus? Cytoplasm is the liquid present inside the cell. Okay, the nucleoplasm has the same composition as cytoplasm, but because it is present inside the nucleus, so it is called nucleoplasm. So it is also same as cytoplasm, but it is present inside the nucleus. Okay, so it is the cytoplasm of nucleus. Okay, now nucleolus is small oval body rich in protein and RNA. It is site for ribosome formation. Okay, it is a small oval shaped body which is rich in protein and RNA is a genetic material. Okay, and proteins. So these two things, substances, the nucleolus is rich in. Okay, and it is the site of ribosome formation. Ribosome is also an organelle. We'll study further about it, but it is, you need to remember this, that nucleolus is the site of ribosome formation which is present inside the nucleus. Okay, now what are the functions of nucleus, the most important organelle? Now let's see about its functions. So first is regulate cell cycle. Cell cycle means the functions that are performed by cells for whatever takes place inside the cell, that is regulated by nucleus. Now second is controls metabolic activities, that the activities which are going on, that are controlled by nucleus. Okay, now third, genes helps in transmission of characters from parents to offspring. So it consists of genetic material such as RNA, DNA, which consists of genes. So genes are present inside the nucleus. Okay, so genes are present inside the nucleus in RNA and DNA, and it helps in transmission of hereditary characters from parents to offspring. Okay, now we will know about cytoplasm. Okay, now it is the liquid material of cell. I have already told you that जो हमारे सेल में जो लिक्विड प्रेजेंट होता है उसे साइटोप्लाज्म बोलते हैं. Okay, cytoplasm, that is the liquid material of cell. So its soluble part is called cytosol. So whatever soluble part is present in the cytoplasm is called cytosol. Now it contains of organelles. It contains of several organelles. All the organelles of the cells are present in cytoplasm only. Okay, the function of organelles is to, what are the function of organelles? First, synthesize something for cell, all the synthesizing activities. Then clean the cell. Cleaning is also required. If something is happening, of course some dirt, means dirt will be spread all over it. So what cleans? The organelles are only responsible. Okay, now the third is protect cell. They are helping protecting the cell. And fourth is store substances. So organelles also help in storing the substances. Okay, now different organelles present in cytoplasm are. Now we will come to know that what are the organelles which are floating in the cytoplasm inside the cell. Okay, the first is ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, the second is ribosome, third is vacuole, fourth is mitochondria, Golgi bodies, centrosome, plastid, lysosome. So we are going to study about all these organelles in details further. Okay, now first we'll study about endoplasmic reticulum. So it is a membranous network enclosing fluid in its cavity. Okay, so it is a membranous network, means membrane is present as a network and it encloses fluid in its cavity. Means fluid is enclosed, it encloses the fluid को enclose करके रखता है अपने अंदर. Okay, now अब ER जो होता है वो भी दो टाइप्स के होते हैं. Okay, now it is of two types, RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. it has ribosome attached to it. So rough endoplasmic reticulum में क्या होता है ना कि जो उनका मेम्ब्रेन होता है उस पे राइबोसोम होता है जिसके कारण वो रफ होता है, ठीक है. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज रफ endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so in the figure here you can see that there is presence of some dot-like structures. So these are ribosomes attached to, and this is what endoplasmic reticulum. So these are ribosomes which are attached to ER. Okay, so and in this portion you are able to see in some portion there that there is no dot like structures present. Okay, so this is what is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, means on the surface that is smooth, no dot like structures, nothing is present over there. Okay, so this is a smooth and this is rough endoplasmic reticulum. So RER, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum, it has ribosome attached to it, and SER, that is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, no ribosome attached. Okay, now functions of ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum. So first, SER, that is a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, synthesize fats etc. Means fats are synthesized in smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and ER, that is endoplasmic reticulum, helps in skeleton framework of cell, that is skeleton framework of cell is done by endoplasmic reticulum. Now rough ER helps in transportation of protein, so it helps in transportation, major function is transportation, and SCR also helps in detoxification. Okay, so detoxification is also a function performed by smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now ribosome is an another organelle present in cell. So अब हम उसके बारे, so ribosomes are spherical particles found free or attached to RER. Okay, so either ribosomes are present attached to rough endoplasmic reticulum as we have seen in the last figure, or it is present free also in free manner. So what is the composition? It contains of RNA. Okay, RNA and proteins. So RNA, it is the there is presence of RNA and proteins in ribosomes. So it is present attached to RER also, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum, and in free form also. The function is protein synthesis. So we have also seen in nucleus that nucleolus was a site of ribosome synthesis. Okay, and now the function of ribosome is protein synthesis. Okay, now the Golgi bodies, these are another organelles. So what are they? They are membrane bound fluid filled vesicles and flattened cristernae. So in plant cells it is called dictyosomes. Okay, so these are membrane bound organelles. Okay, these are membrane bound organelles. So there is presence of cristernae, you can see over here in the figure. So these type of structures, these are called cristernae, and these structures, these one are called vesicles. Okay, vesicles. So fluid filled vesicles, these are, you can see this one is a vesicle. So fluid, these vesicles contain of fluid in them. Okay, so these Golgi bodies have cisternae actually, and vesicles in them. Okay, now um flattened cisternae, it is written over here. Okay, so you can see in the figure it is flattened somehow, and vesicle, these are round fluid filled bodies. Okay, now in plant cell it is called dictyosome. In plant, in the human cells it is called as Golgi bodies. You need to remember this, that in humans it is called as Golgi bodies, but in plants means they are called dictyosomes. Now what is their function? Their function is they secrete package and dispatch the cellular secretions. So cellular secretions are secreted, package is done, and dispatching is done from the Golgi bodies only. That cellular secretions are packed, okay, dispatched means left, and secreted, okay, by Golgi bodies. Now also help in information of cell membrane. Okay, now lysosomes are membrane bound vesicles containing powerful digestive enzymes. Okay, these are also membrane bound. So you can see that many all the organelles are membrane bound. Okay, this is the point. Okay, and then membrane bound vessel containing powerful digestive enzymes. So this is a very important thing to be known about lysosomes, that इनके पास ना कुछ digestive enzymes होते हैं जो बहुत strong होते हैं, बहुत powerful होते हैं, ठीक है. So that's why they have some few functions also. So first is they destroy foreign materials. So all the foreign materials are destroyed by lysosome only. The second is remove worn out cells. So what are worn out cells? Means the cells which have been damaged. Damaged cells are removed by lysosomes. It is the function of lysosomes. Okay, act as suicidal bags, as they can even eat up their own cells if it gets damaged. So this is a very important point about lysosomes, that they are called as suicidal bags of the cell. ओके अब क्यों बोलते हैं ऐसे सुसाइडल बैग्स? अब कुछ तरह की कुछ कंडीशंस होते आते हैं ऐसे, जब उनके खुद के डाइजेस्टिव एंजाइम्स बहुत ज्यादा पावरफुल होते हैं, हमने ये भी देखा है. तो इसके कारण वो अपने ही वो बर्स्ट ओपन हो जाते हैं, ठीक है, वो खुल जाते हैं और मेम्ब्रेन उस रप्चर हो जाता है, ठीक है, और वो डाइजेस्टिव एंजाइम से पूरे सेल को खुद ही ईट अप कर लेते हैं. मतलब वो सेल के सुसाइड के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो सकते हैं, एक तरह से खुद ही सेल को मार देना, मतलब वही हुआ ना, मतलब सुसाइड हुआ, ठीक है. तो दैट्स व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड द सुसाइडल बैग्स, मींस बिकॉज ऑफ सम ऑफ द कंडीशंस द lysosome membrane ruptures. Okay, and the digestive enzymes present in lysosomes are responsible for eating up the whole cell. Okay, now okay, now mitochondria. Mitochondria is a very important cell organelle which is present in our body. So we need to learn very carefully about it. Okay, so they are rod shaped and have double membrane. So they are rod in shape, means rod shaped and double membrane. दो membrane से bounded होता है, ठीक है. Now the outer membrane is porous, means small holes are present, pores are present, which helps in exchange of substances. Okay, तो वो पोर्स एंट्री और एग्जिट सब्सटेंसेस में हेल्प करते हैं, ठीक है. नाउ इनर मेम्ब्रेन फोल्डेड टू फॉर्म क्रिस्टी एंड कंटेन्स स्मॉल बॉडीज कॉल्ड ऑक्सीजोम्स. सो यू कैन सी ओवर हियर इन द फिगर, आपको फिगर में दिख रहा होगा ये जो आउटर मेम्ब्रेन है और फिर ये इनर मेम्ब्रेन. तो इस इनर मेम्ब्रेन फोल्डेड है अंदर से, ठीक है. तो व्हाट इज दिस फोल्डेड? यू कैन सी ओवर हियर द लेबलिंग इट इज गिवन, दैट इज क्रिस्टी. Okay, so these are cristae, these are folded membrane which is formed inside, and this is cristae. Okay, now this cristae, what it does, so increases the surface area for the energy production. Okay, the major function of mitochondria is energy production. Okay, we'll know it. And that cristae is a gives a major function. What is this? The energy production, it increases its surface area for that. Okay, now oxysomes are also present inside the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Okay, now the cavity which is present inside the mitochondria is filled with matrix. Now the cell contains cytoplasm, nucleus contains nucleoplasm. सबका एक fluid है, तो mitochondria क्यों अकेला रहा है? उसके पास भी matrix होता है, that is the matrix which is present inside the mitochondria. Okay, that contains DNA. DNA is the genetic material, and ribosomes. Ribosomes are present inside. You can see over here, ribosomes are present, DNA is present, many other substances also, but these are main. Okay, now function, so produces energy in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. Okay, called powerhouse. Okay, now the mitochondria's main function is energy production. Okay, now so that's why it is called the powerhouse of the cell. It produces energy in the form of ATP, that is, you need to learn the full form, that is adenosine triphosphate. Okay, and so it is called the powerhouse of the cell. So this power which it produces is really very important for all the metabolic activities carried out by the cell. Okay, तो इसका ये जो power produce करता है ये बहुत important है, ठीक है. So it is called the powerhouse of the cell. Please remember it. Okay, now plastids. Plastids are some another organelles, very important. So these are only found in plant cells. Okay, these plastids are only found in plant cells. So these are of three types. Okay, first is leucoplast. Leucoplast is colorless. It is colorless. Okay, the leucoplast is present in roots. Actually, roots contain leucoplast. Now, chromoplast, these are colored, red, green, yellow, several colors you can find in chromoplast. This is a type of plastids which is colored. So, these are present in flowers and fruits. Okay, so they are colored. We know कलर कलर के होते हैं तो उसमें उनमें क्रोमोप्लास्ट प्रेजेंट होता है. ठीक है, अब क्लोरोप्लास्ट ग्रीन कलर, तो ग्रीन कलर क्या होता है, लीव्स हो गए, स्टेम्स हो गए. सो क्लोरोप्लास्ट इज प्रेजेंट इन obviously leaves. Okay, so chloroplast is double membrane organelle containing stroma and stacked lamella called grana. So stroma is actually the liquid which is present inside the stroma, is the aqueous fluid you can see over here that is present inside the chloroplast. Okay, so that is the liquid which is present inside the chloroplast. Okay, now the next is stacked lamella called grana. So grana is all this which is circular disc like structures are stacked over here. These are thylakoid. The single is called thylakoid. जो एक है उसे थाइलाकॉइड बोलते हैं. और अगर ये थाइलाकॉइड साथ में स्टैक कर दिए जाएं एक के ऊपर एक, तो वो साथ में ग्राना कहलाते हैं. ठीक है, दैट इज द स्टैक ऑफ थाइलाकॉइड्स. ओके, now, so grana contains green pigment, chlorophyll that helps in photosynthesis. Chlorophyll, we all know about it. Okay, बहुत पहले से हम chlorophyll के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं. Green pigment which is present. Okay, तो ये green pigment होता है जो photosynthesis में बहुत helpful होता है. Major component that is present in chloroplast only in grana. Okay, now the functions of chloroplast is, first, chloroplast helps in photosynthesis. So chloroplast helps in photosynthesis as it contains chlorophyll. Okay, now next, leucoplast stores food, fats, etc. So leucoplast is also responsible, that is a type of plastid to store food and fats and several other things, right? Whatever storage materials are there. The third is chromoplast imparts colors to flowers. Already I have said, मैंने पहले ही कहा आपसे कि जो fruits flowers होते हैं उन्हें उनमें colors कहाँ से आता है, तो उनमें chromoplast present होता है. तो that chromoplast is a colorful pigment that imparts, that provides colors to the fruits and flowers. Okay, now moving on. So vacuole. So vacuole is the next cellular organelle. So कितना छोटा सा सेल है ना, लेकिन कितने सारे ऑर्गेनेल्स हैं, कितना कुछ पढ़ना पड़ रहा है. Okay, so now vacuole, we need to study about it. So fluid filled membrane bound spaces. Okay, so fluid filled membrane is present. Okay, this membrane is present. This is a vacuole you can see over here. So vacuole is also membrane. Okay, okay, now in animal cells, either they are absent or if present then they are small in size and are temporary. So in animal cells एब्सेंट भी हो सकते हैं. अगर प्रेजेंट है, देखिए ऐसे तो वो एब्सेंट होते हैं, अगर प्रेजेंट है तो वो स्मॉल इन साइज होते हैं और टेम्परेरी होते हैं, परमानेंटली प्रेजेंट नहीं होते हैं एनिमल सेल्स में. ठीक है, व्हाट इज द फंक्शन, दैट इज हेल्प्स इन स्टोरिंग सब्सटेंसेस. Okay, now it helps in storing several kind of substances. In plant cell, vacuole are large and permanent. Okay, plant cells में क्या होता है ना कि vacuole are large. You see, this is a vacuole in plant cell. Okay, in animal cells they are small tubes, lobes are present all over the cell in animal cell. So that is in that type of way in animal cell it is present, but this is some kind it is present in plant cell, a big and permanent one. But in animal cell, small lobes are present, but they are temporary. Okay, now, so outer membrane is called tonoplast and is filled with a fluid called cell sap. So the membrane होता है, मैंने आपसे पहले ही कहा है, तो उससे क्या कहते हैं, तो उसे tonoplast कहते हैं. Tonoplast is the name of the membrane of vacuole. Okay, now there is a present of fluid. एक फ्लूइड प्रेजेंट होता है, उसे सेल सैप, सेल का लिक्विड जो भी आप कहिए, एक लिक्विड विच इज प्रेजेंट इनसाइड द वैक्यूल, दैट इज सेल सैप. ओके, नाउ व्हाट आर द फंक्शंस, प्रोवाइड्स टर्जिडिटी एंड रिजिडिटी, टर्जिडिटी एंड रिजिडिटी टू द सेल. ओके, ऑल द ऑर्गेनल्स वर्क फॉर सेल, बहुत वफादार गुलाम है उस सेल के सारे ऑर्गेनल्स, उनके लिए उनको टर्जिडिटी, रिजिडिटी और भी बहुत सारे फंक्शंस हमने देखे. Now stored substances, whatever things which are taking place in the cell, that are stored in the vacuole. Okay, now the third maintains osmotic pressure also. Osmotic pressure is also a process which is going on inside the cell. Now that's centrosome. Centrosome is another organelle. It is not finished yet. centrosome is here. Okay, so it is found only in animal cells. So centrosome is a organelle which is only found in animal cell. Please do not confuse yourself because it is not found in plant cell. Okay, so it consists of two granules like centriole. So you can see in this figure that these are centriole. You can see this one is centriole and this is whole is centrosome. Okay, now so what is the function? Helps in spindle formation during cell division. So it helps in spindle formation during cell division. It works during cell division. Major function is during cell division. Okay, now diffusion and osmosis, these are very important functions, they are very important processes, you can say, which takes place in the cell. So what is diffusion? Diffusion, it is mostly seen in case of gases. Okay, example is cells respire during oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide takes place through diffusion. हम लोग बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं कि जब हम रिस्पायर करते हैं तो ऑक्सीजन हम अंदर लेते हैं और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिलीज करते हैं, तो उसमें भी एक तरह से डिफ्यूजन हेल्प करता है एंट्री और एग्जिट में, सेल्स के एंट्री और एग्जिट में. Okay, now so the movement of molecules from the area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration is called diffusion. So the diffusion is the process जो हमारे जो सेल के बाहर जब जब सेल के अंदर से कुछ बाहर जाता है तो ऑफ कोर्स जो सेल के बाहर है उस सब्सटेंस का कंसंट्रेशन सेल के बाहर जब ज्यादा होता है तो डिफ्यूजन के प्रोसेस के थ्रू वो सेल के अंदर जाता है, कि हायर कंसंट्रेशन से लोअर कंसंट्रेशन, सेल के अंदर उस सब्सटेंस का लोअर कंसंट्रेशन होता है तो डिफ्यूजन के जरिए सेल में एंटर करता है. तो इसी प्रोसेस को किसी भी सब्सटेंस के सेल में हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन से लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन में एंटर करने को हम डिफ्यूजन कहते हैं. एंड वेरी प्रोमिनेंट एग्जांपल इज ऑक्सीजन एंड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड के. ऑस्मोसिस, so movement of solvent molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration across semi permeable membrane is called osmosis. Okay, so osmosis is the process that takes place in liquids. Okay, so in this also it is the same case that higher concentration to lower concentration, मतलब जहाँ पे जो चीज ज्यादा होगी वहां से कम वाले जगह पे वो ट्रांसपोर्ट होगी. और this is the osmosis is the very prevalent process, very only prevalent, or we can say, in semi-permeable membrane, which semi-permeable is which allows only few substances, not all substances to enter. Okay, now there are solutions, there are some types of solutions. So first is hypotonic solution, the solution that has higher water concentration. The hypotonic solution is the solution which has higher water concentration. Okay, now hypertonic solution, the solution that has lesser water concentration, जिसमें water concentration कम होता है और बाकी के substances का concentration ज़्यादा होता है. Hypotonics में हायर वाटर का कंसंट्रेशन ज्यादा होता है और बाकी के सब्सटेंसेस का कम होता है. ठीक है, नाउ आइसोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन, द सॉल्यूशन दैट हैज सेम कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर एज इन सेल. ओके, द आइसोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन वो सॉल्यूशन जिसमें कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर इक्वल होता है, सेल के बराबर में होता है, मतलब जितना सेल में होता है वाटर उतना ही कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर आइसोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन में भी होता है. ओके, नाउ let's see what happens when RBC is placed in different types of solution. So RBC is a cell, we are taking an example of RBC. So we have to see what happens when RBC is placed in different types of cell. So, hypertonic, okay, the higher concentration of water is there. Now when cell is placed in hypertonic solution, the water is more inside the cell as compared to water outside. Okay, so water from the cell moves into the solution, that is called exoosmosis, occurs due to which cell shrinks and become flaccid. Okay, so what happens कि जब hypertonic solution में जाता है तो क्या होता है ना कि जो सेल के अंदर वाटर कंसंट्रेशन बाहर कम होता है और सेल के अंदर वाटर कंसंट्रेशन ज्यादा होता है, तो सेल क्या करता है, अपना वाटर लूज कर देता है, वाटर लूज कर देता है. इस प्रोसेस को हम एक्सोऑस्मोसिस कहते हैं. हमने कहा था कि लिक्विड में होता है ऑस्मोसिस, तो क्योंकि वाटर लूज कर रहा है इसे हम एक्सोऑस्मोसिस कहेंगे. ठीक है, तो जब बाहर में वाटर का कंटेंट कम होगा और अंदर में वाटर का कंटेंट ज्यादा होगा तो हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन से लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन जाएगा, तो अंदर सेल अपने अंदर से वाटर लूज कर देता है और इस प्रोसेस को एक्सोऑस्मोसिस कहते हैं। और जो सेल होता है वो श्रिंक हो जाता है, मतलब फ्लेसिड हो जाता है। और मतलब जैसा आप फिगर में देख रहे हो इस तरह से वो श्रिंक सा हो जाता है। ठीक है। अब isotonic solution, when cell is placed in isotonic solution then nothing happens and the cell remains as such. Okay, so what happens in isotonic solution? water content तो सेम होता है, जो solution है उसमें भी water उतना ही है जितना सेल के अंदर है। तो जब दोनों में सेल के अंदर, तो हायर concentration और लोअर concentration डिफाइन कैसे होगा? ठीक है, तो इसीलिए सेल में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं आता है। ठीक है। हाइपोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन, द सेल इज प्लेस्ड इन हाइपोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन as water is more outside, so the water from the solution moves into cell and is called endoosmosis, occurs due to which cell starts swelling up and fully swollen cell is called turgid. Okay, now पहले हमने हाइपरटोनिक सॉल्यूशन में देखा था कि बाहर जो कंसेंट्रेशन था वाटर का वो कम था और अंदर ज्यादा था, तो वाटर लूज कर दिया सेल तो वो श्रिंक हो गया। लेकिन हाइपोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन में एक्चुअली में क्या होता है कि वाटर कंसेंट्रेशन बाहर ज्यादा होता है और अंदर कम, तो हायर कंसेंट्रेशन से लोअर कंसेंट्रेशन, द सेम एथिक। सो बाहर से जो पानी होता है, वाटर होता है, वो अंदर जाने लगता है, दैट इज इट स्टार्ट्स गोइंग इनसाइड द सेल, सो द सेल स्वेल्स अप, फूल जाता है सेल, और उसे एंडोऑस्मोसिस कहते हैं। So that was exoosmosis. This is endosmosis. Okay, the fully swollen cell is called turgid. Okay, the fully swollen cell is called turgid. So this type of cell, something this type of cell, and this one, the shrinked cell, is called flaccid. Okay, now we're moving next. Now, plasmolysis and deplasmolysis. Now, what is this? These are the two phenomena that take place in plant cell, because plant cell consists of cell wall. So, let's see what it is. So, plasmolysis, the shrinkage of protoplast away from the cell wall due to exoosmosis in a plant cell when it is placed in a hypertonic solution is called plasmolysis. तो हमारा जो सेल वॉल होता है उससे हमारा प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन अलग मीन्स श्रिंक हो जाता है और उससे अलग हो जाता है, जैसे हम देख रहे हैं ये फ्लेसिड सेल। सो दिस टाइप ऑफ सिचुएशन इज फॉर्म्ड इन प्लाज्मोलाइसिस बिकॉज इट इज प्लेस्ड इन अ हाइपरटोनिक सॉल्यूशन। हाइपरटोनिक सॉल्यूशन, व्हाई? हाइपरटोनिक सॉल्यूशन में वाटर कंसेंट्रेशन तो कम होता है और सेल के अंदर क्या होता है, वाटर कंसेंट्रेशन ज्यादा, तो वो अपना वाटर लूज कर देता है और सेल वॉल से अवे प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन श्रिंक कर जाता है। ठीक है। सो दिस टाइप ऑफ condition is caused and this flaccid cell is formed. Okay, so this is plasmolysis. Now deplasmolysis, when the plasmolysed plant cell is kept in hypotonic solution. Which kind of solution? In which water concentration is more. We know this solution. Water enters the cell and cytoplasm gets swelled by the process of endoosmosis and cell further gains turgidity. This process is called as deplasmolysis. So this is the turgid cell which is formed by deplasmolysis. When it is placed in a hypotonic solution in which water concentration is more, the water inside starts going inside the cell. Water अंदर जाने लगता है सेल के, क्योंकि सेल के अंदर तो लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है, तो हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन से लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन में वो मूव करने लगता है, तो सेल स्वेल अप होके टर्जिड सेल में बदल जाता है। ओके, सो दिस फेनोमेनन इज कॉल्ड deplasmolysis. Okay, now we will discuss some question and answers. Okay, now who discovered cell and how? Robert Hooke in 1665 discovered cell in a thin slice of cork under the microscope. He observed that cork resembles the structure of honeycomb consisting of many compartments that are called cells. Okay. Now second, why is cell called structural and functional unit of life? We have discussed it, that cells are arranged in proper systematic order to form a living organism. Thus we can say that cell serves as building block of organism. Cells are also called functional units because all the metabolic activities of cell takes place at all level in the cell. Okay. Now the third is, how do substances like carbon dioxide and water move in and out from the cell? So recently we have discussed this, that they move in or out from cell by the process of diffusion. There is a spontaneous movement of substances from higher concentration to lower concentration. Fourth is name two organelles that have their own genetic material. What is genetic material? That is DNA, that is present in chloroplast and mitochondria. These both organelles have their own genetic material. Now, fifth is why lysosomes are called as suicidal bag. This is an important point. So the answer will be they contain hydrolytic enzymes that can even digest their own cell if in case it gets damaged. That is also called autolysis. Okay, so these are the suicidal bags of the cell. So sixth, where are proteins synthesized in the cell? So they are synthesized by ribosome which are attached to RER, that is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Next, seventh question, which organelle is called powerhouse of the cell and why? So mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell because it contains all necessary enzymes that are needed for oxidation of food, carbohydrate and fat present in cell to CO2 and H2O, which releases energy in the form of ATP molecules, that is adenosine triphosphate, and ATP is used to fulfill the energy requirement of the cell. The next is how amoeba obtains its food. So amoeba obtains its food by pseudopodia. So the plasma membrane of the amoeba is flexible and enables the cell to engulf the food and other materials by forming a cup-shaped structure called pseudopodia by the process of endocytosis. So what happens that amoeba forms a cup-shaped structure while engulfing its food, and it covers that food through that cup shaped structure, and that cup shaped structure is called pseudopodia. So this is only possible because of the flexible membrane of pseudopodia. जो मेम्ब्रेन है वो फ्लेक्सिबल है, इसी कारण वो एक कप शेप फॉर्मेशन फॉर्म कर ले रहा है. तो वो जो मेम्ब्रेन है वो एक कप शेप फॉर्मेशन के होते होने के कारण वो food engulf hota hai. Okay, now which cell organelle controls most of the activity of cell? That is nucleus, that is called the brain of the cell. Okay, this all the functions, all the activities are controlled by nucleus. Now the 10th one is differentiate between plant cell and animal cell. So plant cell and animal cell. So plant cell, it has cell wall made up of cellulose. Plant cell has cell wall made up of cellulose, and animal cell do not have cell wall. Cell wall is absent. It has plastids. Plastids are absent except in euglena. Okay? Now, it has large size vacuoles. Plant cell have large size vacuoles, and vacuoles are absent, and if present are small sized. Food is stored in the form of glycogen and starch. So food is stored in the form of glycogen only. So food is centrosome is absent in plant cell, and centrosome are present in animal cell. So nucleus lies at one side in the cytoplasm due to large central vacuole. So vacuole is very large in plant cell, so nucleus lies at the periphery, means side of the plant cell. And animal cell, nucleus lies in the center because the vacuole is not too large and permanent. Okay, now usually large sized and elongated or rectangular. This is large sized, elongated and rectangular, and animal cells are usually small sized and oval. So our topic is completed. Thank you for watching our channel, and if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.